Chamness here again, VIP private session Tuesday. Private session Tuesday. I wish we had jingles, spice it up a bit with some jingles. uh, I was watching a podcast, Marcus Maloney. I don't know if you guys follow Marcus Maloney. He was a guest on our Shut Up Money show one time. He is a blogger for Bigger Pockets. I don't know if anybody out there is on Bigger Pockets or not. You should be, really. Okay. Like if you get the app, pick out some things that you like. It'll help you learn. So when you're on, when you're, and you get up in the morning and, nature calls, instead of just scrolling mindlessly through Instagram and Facebook, you can do a little bit of scrolling through Bigger Pockets too and kind of learn a little bit about your real estate game. That's a gold nugget for when it's time for the brown nugget. I'm sorry, that's horrible. That was horrible. What's going on? What's going on, Bob Vieira?
What's up, my friend?
Hey, it's good to see you, dude.
You too. Good to see everybody.
Yeah,
how's everybody doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. How's Mark doing? And Larry and Anthony and Philip, and we have some others coming in here too. But how's everybody doing?
Doing good today. What about you?
Yeah, not too shabby.
Good.
Not too shabby. So, what's happening in your world, Bob?
Nothing new besides forbearance extensions, which is kind of my world, but everybody's world, So just want to follow those. Right now, they're extended until February and March, as far as the foreclosure ones are concerned with. So just want to keep an eye on those trends, see what the government does, and take advantage of it when it ends. That's it. Same as you guys.
I've been told that here in Kansas City, my market, I'm sure it's different other places, but as far as the rental moratorium and stuff is, and the corona and all that, here, I've been told that it's being handled like the tenant, if you need to evict them, needs to prove that the coronavirus directly affected their ability to pay the rent or whatever. I don't know, but that's on the rental side. The moratorium side is the foreclosure side. So what you're talking about is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, and any kind of government-backed loans.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, you say that the renters, I'm not super familiar with that, but I mean, you say the renters have to prove that it was from COVID, in order to get the, the assistance. For mortgages, it's very easy. I mean, you could call up right now, literally just tell them over the phone, hey, I can't pay the rent for like a COVID related reason. And like virtually that's it.
Not to change the subject so abruptly, but
yeah,
definitely going to here. You have a document that you produced, and that was based off of a question that came up during a Q&A. And the question had to do with short sales. Oh, by the way, Bob Vieira is our resident short sale expert. Okay, so if you go to universalshortsales.com, you can register with him as a wholesaler, and when you come across deals that qualify, and here's what it takes to qualify as a short sale. The first two things is that it's underwater, meaning they owe more than the property's value. Okay. And then number two, it's that they are in default, right? So they have to be behind. Okay. Now, if those two things are in play, then that's a potential short sale candidate there. So if you're registered with Bob at universalshortsales.com, you can pass that lead off to Bob. Bob will work that lead start to finish, do the short sale process, and then pay you out $500 at the end. When you register with Bob, see, for us wholesalers, that's a dead lead. So it's just another tool in the toolbox to make a $500 check out of something that was nothing. Okay. When you sign up and when you register, it's free, of course, but it's you get a choice of ebooks. There's some really, really good information in there, y'all. Okay, about how to talk to the seller about a short sale when you run across one of these, and so on. There's some nuances to it, y'all. There's some nuances to it, y'all. All right. Now, Bob had a question here a while back about, somebody asked Bob, when a person that owns a home and is underwater and in default goes through a short sale, they create a tax liability with the IRS. Is that correct, Bob?
So yes, totally correct. But the question I'm referring to, it was last Tuesday, and I wish I remember.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're 100% right. But this has to do with the IRS. But it's something that could help you guys with high equity deals that are awesome wholesale deals. They could have huge profits. Every once in a while, you're going to run into deals where, like I said, high profits, motivated seller, but they have an IRS lien, just like Justin said, against the property. I can't remember who asked it. It was somebody from your group. I cannot remember. They were from Long Island. They asked a great question last episode. So what happens is when the IRS has a lien against the property.
Anthony, maybe? Oh, I'm just trying to remember who was.
He's from the Long Island market. That's what I remember, but I can't remember the name.
Steve Driscoll.
Steve.
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah. He asked me an awesome question about it. So I figured I'd put together a checklist for you guys just to literally save in your file. And that way.
Can you share screens?
What's that?
Can you share screens?
Yeah, let me pull it up. I was going to post it to the group, but yeah, let me pull it up. Give me a sec.
Oh, definitely post it to the group too.
Yeah. Just for everyone to have. But anyway, as I pull it up, what will happen from time to time, if there's an IRS lien against the property and it has to be discharged in order for you to sell. So it could be a high equity deal, small mortgage, no problem. But you cannot sell if that IRS lien exceeds the value of the property that you're selling. So most investors, like I'm talking like 90% of investors and wholesalers, they'll just walk away from these deals. Legit. They'll be like, shit, I can't do anything with this. See you later. They don't know that there's a way to discharge the lien. There's a way to get it temporarily lifted. The IRS will temporarily lift the lien so that you could get the property sold.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's cool. Great. I mean, again, to steal your lingo, there are tools.
Yeah. Let's do it. Share screens if you want.
Yeah. I'm just pulling it up. So.
How's the Florida weather today, Bob?
I don't know. I haven't even been outside today, which is unlike me. Probably like 60s. Desktop.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay, could you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, everybody see that doc I have pulled up?
Yeah.
Cool. I threw this together. It's a checklist. Like I said, you may never need it, but if you ever do need it, the chances are you can make awesome profits off it because there'll be no competition on this deal because everyone will get the hell away from it. So I'll post it to the group. You guys will have the PDF and it's just literally it's 8 steps. You just keep it on file, follow these 8 steps next time you have an IRS lien and you can get it literally discharged from the property and you could get the deal done. It's pretty powerful.
This is like if I owe back taxes and then they lien my property.
Yeah, but it's not property taxes. So like, okay,
right.
A lot of self-employed people, for example.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to pay the government, right? So a lot of people run into tax issues. They get tax logs, and the IRS will put a lien against their asset if it's over $50,000. Okay. So you'll go to make an offer, and most of these people have no idea that there's a lien against their property because the IRS sends the mail. They're not paying the taxes. They're like, screw it. They don't even open the mail that's notifying them, hey, we have a lien against your property for your personal tax debt against us. So you run title, you think you have this awesome deal in the works, and then boom, you have like 50, 70, 100. I mean, I've seen obscene balances on this thing, and they're deal killers. So I put together 8 steps here. Follow the 8 steps, and hopefully you'll be able to get it discharged. Seller could sell, they're happy, and then you're happy because you kept the deal alive.
Is the IRS gonna want a piece of the pie though? I wonder.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always something in it for them. So I've actually dealt with this definitely twice, possibly 3 times. The third one was a little complicated, but like I've dealt with this recently on a short sale in North Carolina, like within the past 2-3 weeks. So this stuff happens, but in my situations, remember, the properties are underwater. So like the IRS, they're a little bit more incentivized to lift it because they know they're not seeing any profit and the bank's not seeing any profit. So they're like, whatever, there's no profit. We're going to lift this lien and just put it against another asset, or, put it against the seller personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in your guys' situation, if there's an awesome wholesale deal with tons of equity, then yeah, they might want a piece after the bank is paid off. They're going to want a piece of it. So, but that's all going to be laid out. If you guys could work these 8 steps, get the deal approved, the IRS is going to send you a conditional letter of approval. So whatever terms they want are going to be lined out in that conditional letter.
Okay. Wow. This is great. This is great information. I want to put this away where I know where it's at. So when I need it, I can find it.
That's it. I mean,
yeah.
You need it for like, a couple weeks, couple months, a year, whatever. But then when you run into this issue in title, you'll have that light. Oh, crap, I have this. Let me see. I have this on file. So.
Wow, Bob, can you bring us something like this every single week?
I'll do my best.
That's great info, Bob. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Like I was just doing it. Like I ran across it a couple times in my business, and then that question was asked. So I was like, oh, this is definitely relatable.
I have a question about the referral fee. Can we get that in Amazon gift cards?
Amazon. Really? Oh, I thought.
I thought that was sketchy too, but I was trying to put it together in my mind, and I couldn't.
Are you being serious, or is that like a real question? Or you just...
I'm somewhat serious.
All right, I don't know. What's next? Bitcoin?
I don't know what would be wrong with it, other than, well, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, yeah, like I'll ask my accountant first. Like, hey, if not, sure, I don't care. Yeah, definitely.
Do you just like getting stuff from Amazon that way, or?
Yeah. What's the reasoning?
I'm just curious.
Nothing I'm going to say publicly.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean, if you ever send me a lead through my form, just shoot me a little note, and then I'll ask my accountant. And sure.
All right.
I'll tell you what. If his accountant says no, then Bob can send me the 500, and then I'll send you the 400.
In Amazon gift cards.
In Amazon gift cards, yes. Any way you want it, brother. No, just teasing. All right. Well, I do appreciate that, Bob. That was great. Is there a link in the chat here?
No, I'll do that, and I'll post it to. Well, what would you guys rather? Because I feel like if I post it to Facebook, people who aren't on the call could see it too. They'll get it too.
Yeah, we have a good constituency of people who aren't on Facebook, though, too.
Gotcha.
That's the thing. So,
right. Yeah.
So if we run into something like this, for Bob, do we call Bob? What do we do? You said something
There's a
about
form.
signing up.
You go on my website, universalshortsales.com,
Okay.
and you hover over contact us, and you'll see it literally says wholesalers submit properties here. So you just click on that, fill it out, and then I shoot you a signed referral agreement and just keep you updated on your leads. That's it.
Okay. So
That's it.
no membership or anything. You just send it to you, right? No, right?
No. There's no like official membership. I mean, I do ask that you fill out the form just so I have you logged so that when you submit the lead, I know who you are and it's like a little bit more efficient. You know what I'm saying?
Don't give him ideas, Lou. Don't
Yeah.
don't give him ideas that he could start charging money for this. Huh?
Yeah. Monthly membership.
Bob, we really appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. It's great to have that extra tool in our toolbox. As real estate investors and wholesalers, sometimes we run into people underwater and in default. Typically they're in default, and that's what causes them to be underwater. So, it happens.
Bob, is it the moratorium on so all these people that are in foreclosure have been filed on list pendants? Are they, so they're not, let me ask the right question here. So they are going to be short sale candidates down the road because they're still getting all their fees and everything charged to them, right?
Yeah.
So if it goes in March or whatever, whenever it ends, moratorium ends, if they don't have much equity 6 months ago, they're going to have even less.
Exactly.
So that's going to.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest targeting those people because, it's a win-win. You either make the deal for yourself, if they have a bunch of equity and they're facing foreclosure, or if it's a dead lead, you could create a secondary source of income with us. So it's, it's a win-win with those people.
Okay.
Yeah. That's cool. Any other questions for Bob?
Fire away. Everybody got the message I just sent in the chat, right? Like I sent it to everyone, the checklist.
Yeah, it's in the Zoom room chat here, guys and gals. And going once. Okay. All right, Bob. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And thank you for the leave behind here, the file, the IRS checklist. Make sure you get that. If you're VIP, it's in the Facebook group. It will be, and it's also here in the Zoom room. So if no questions for Bob, we'll see you next week, dude.
You got it. See you next week.
Sounds great, man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See you guys.
UniversalShortSales.com. Go sign up, guys, if you haven't. Okay, go register. All right, we have some more people popping in here. All right. Philip has a deal that he asked me about 10, 15 minutes before this show began. And I told him that we would go over it here during the Q&A. And he's not telling us that it's a deal. He's not saying it's not a deal. He's just saying, here's a possibility. Can we take a look? And I said, sure, we'll take a looky, Lou. That's fine. If that's still okay with you, Philip, let's just launch into that now. Hey, good to see Rosalind.
Sure.
And everybody here, Mark, Larry, Ed, Lou, Jaime, Philip, Rosalind, Ed, Victor, Vernon, Anthony, Rick. Man, you guys are my family. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So give us the 3-minute, 2-minute overview of this deal, and I'll try to take some notes here so that we can all look at it from a helicopter's perspective.
All right. So this guy was selling, he agreed to do a lease option. He was asking 155. I did some comps on it. It's kind of rural. So I really couldn't get accurate comps. I tried, I think I did like 2-3 miles out, got an average of about 140. He's asking 155. He did remodel the house a little bit. So I really couldn't get correct comps. So I just went with what he was asking since he remodeled it, because I couldn't get sold comps. And I looked at those comps, the ones that I did get, and couldn't find anything like up to date, like if they updated their place or whatever. So it's just, and now I have this realtor who wants to, so I got it under contract. I had a realtor call me, and she has a customer / friend that is interested. She has 15K down, but I really don't know how to work with a realtor, and I don't know how she's going to get paid, because I'm pretty sure she's going to want to get paid. I did that. I did the 10% adding to his 155, but for a 3-year lease, I'm not too sure because of the comps. It seemed a little bit high to me, so I did like a 5%, and I'm advertising it. I'm advertising it, but I didn't put the price.
Oh, great.
It's one of those where it's rule. Okay, well, we'll just see what happens.
So in order to capture the 15K down, 2 things have to happen here. You have to have a purchase price to the tenant buyer of how much. Somebody do the math for me. Help me out. Help me out. I sat in the back of the class during math. I didn't learn anything. I need your help. I did. I sat in the back of the class.
I mean, about 170, right?
All right. He has it under contract for 155. He wants to capture 15K. What's he got to price it at? Somebody say it again.
170.
Okay. So 155 plus 15 is 170. Right. Okay. Yeah. My math teacher would be proud of you guys.
Mhm.
All right. So he has to get 2 things have to happen. He has to get a purchase price from the tenant buyer of 170K. Okay. What is this? 36 months?
Yes.
Okay. And the second thing that needs to happen is realtor has to be paid. Right?
What's the owner asking for?
155.
No, what's he asking for down payment and consideration of?
He actually didn't. I asked Justin, should I mention it?
I don't think so.
I asked Justin if I should mention it. Justin said no, so I didn't mention it. So the contract just reads $1,200 a month at 155 asking price, and he signed it.
We have some realtors in the room. Guys, I think about getting my realtor's license all the time. I really seriously thought about it last week. I was like, yeah. Oh, I even put it on my to-do list, and then I deleted it like 20 minutes later. I'm so wishy-washy.
On a not to do list.
Well, what do the realtors think about this deal? 36 months up the road, 170. The average comps that he can find, if at all, are 140-ish, but they are also not updated. This home comparable has been updated, however, but could it pull 170 in 36 months? I don't know. Does anybody have an opinion?
That's a gamble.
Okay.
Yeah.
The realtor in the deal will have an opinion on this also. Now, it's okay. So we have to decide on that. Can we move forward with a good conscience doing a tenant buyer contract at 170 for 36 months? Can we move forward with a good conscience doing that?
You can try, but there's no guarantee that the tenant buyer will get financing at 170 down the road. It just may not have value.
It may not appraise. What if it appraises in 36 months for 159?
They'll have to come in with the difference.
Or renegotiate and dump it.
Yeah. The homeowner is going to have to be aware that if the house does not appraise, he's going to have to either renegotiate with them or something,
Or come in with the difference to meet the appraisal value.
Yeah, because I was gonna actually ask 162 too, which is like half of the 15.
So
because I wasn't sure about the comps.
Because of this comparable thing, what would be a fair price?
140.
140. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, that's the problem that we're running into though a lot when we go to some of these rural areas and stuff. One of the rules, and Justin, you might want to comment, but one of the rules that I'm finding that I have to sort of adhere to is to try to stay in areas where they have activities and don't be lured by the fact that there's just a house for sale someplace out in Timbuktu, because it's already listed with a realtor. The realtor obviously is a local person. I don't know how experienced or how quality they are, but they've definitely.
This is the buyer's. This is the tenant buyer realtor, right? It's not a listed property, correct, Philip?
It's not a listed property. A realtor called me, said she had a friend who's interested in that property. So I'm thinking, okay, if this realtor called me, I'm thinking she already looked this house up. Now I'm not too sure she did, but she might have.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about. What's the realtor role?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, if I was a realtor, I probably would, because I'm helping my friend out. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what her plan is.
Probably not to be paid at all.
Possibly just a consultant.
It's my friend. I'm trying to help her out. Blah, blah. I'm a realtor. She asked me. I made a connection here. I'm just happy.
Is she a local realtor, or is she just a realtor?
Says she's a local realtor.
Okay, and she doesn't have any buyers or anything that she can recommend?
Well, she has her friend. Her friend wants to buy it.
Oh, okay. So her friend wants to buy. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and I asked her about, if she can do a tenant screening and all that other good stuff. And she kind of told me her story. She's a bakery owner, so she has the money. She has $15K down.
Okay. So here's what I would do if it were me. Y'all ready for this?
Ready.
It's gonna be so simple. I would call the realtor back immediately and I would say, hey, that all sounds really, really cool. I have one question though. How and what are you expecting to be paid in this? And then zip your lip. Let them say, hopefully, in this case, well, it's just a friend. I'm just trying to make a connection and help somebody out because, we do yoga together. So, I'm trying to help her out, or I see her at church or whatever, the bakery and whatnot. And so that's really what's in it for me. I'm not trying to make any money. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we're not taking advantage of you. Okay. No. Okay. That's wonderful. All right. So your buyer has $15K down. Yeah. Okay. Now I would say here's what my thought is. I wouldn't try to stretch the whole 15K. I would try to stretch maybe half of it. Okay. And get half. And I would say, okay, well, if she has 15, I really would like to make her a deal. If I can make her a deal and only need half of that, is this something we can move forward with like right away? Okay. So you want to talk to her kind of in those terms. So and then just put the deal together from there. Okay. Because she's kind of the key to the deal. The realtor is, in a sense,
Right.
but not the entire key, So you want to make sure you cross this bridge with her. Now, if she comes back, you say, hey, if you call her up and you say, hey, how would you like to be paid? How and what were you expecting to be paid? And she says, well, I normally get 3% or 6% or something like that. Then, that deal's a bust. You might say, well, how about this? If the buyer has 15K down, would she be interested in the property at 170 in 36 months? Okay. If so, let's split the money, you and me. Okay. 50-50. 7,500 and 7,500. Okay. So you'll have to negotiate with her, but it sounds to me, and I do run across this pretty frequently, where the realtor is just helping somebody out. Isn't that strange that realtors help people out a lot without getting paid?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is so true. They do. So I think that's the deal. I mean, I think you can maybe make this marriage happen with these parties even.
Okay.
But the first step is to call that realtor and find out what that fee is going to be, if any. Because if if it's too much, then it might be insane, or maybe there's something reasonable you can do. Okay. Somebody,
Hey, Justin,
yeah.
what about the monthly? I haven't heard any numbers on that yet.
1,200.
Yeah, that's a good question.
1,200 a month.
That's what the owners wanted.
Yes.
And how much are you going to be able to charge the tenant buyer?
Yeah, it's not like a sandwich lease or anything, so it'd be $1,200.
Okay.
He's not. Yeah, that's what the contract says. It's not a sandwich lease, so he's not. That's what he's paying for the house, because he got it on a seller financing type of deal, and he's just concerned about paying it monthly. That's all. He just wants, because it's going to start chewing it down. He has zero interest on the seller financing that he got, so he's not worried about paying interest on the loan that he got, because his friend is actually the bank, so he's getting zero interest. He's paying $1,200, and that's all he really wants. $1,200 a month, so that what he owes gets chopped down.
Is that reasonable in the area? 1,200?
Yes.
Great question. Yeah. Yeah.
Is the rent there 1,200? That's the thing. Is the rent there 1,200? Where is this at? Where is this? Look, I'm an agent, everybody, for 28 years. So, but I'm an investor now for the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's in Farmington.
Okay.
Mexico.
Okay, so the main thing of with something like this is it looks like it's something with the realtor itself, because it's not like a deal for, as my opinion, and I know Justin and maybe Vic there, that's not something I would put my hands in, because first of all, you got a realtor involved. I'm a realtor, so I never try to let people know I'm a realtor. I just say I'm an investor. And then if I have to put my realtor hat to make it a listing, it's different. So you want to get a deal with the realtor not involved, because there can be a liability in the long run, because that realtor can get in trouble. I don't know how the license law is there, but in Massachusetts, if we're a realtor and we're communicating as a realtor, and that owner can turn it back, and knowing you have a buyer on the table or somebody that wanted to take that lease option, and what's going to happen is that she can stab you in the back, and then there's someone in party, and then it comes into a liability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's only if she wants to get involved in a realtor kind of way, right? If she wants to make money on the deal.
Right. You have to cut her out the deal in some way or somehow. Like, I got cut out of the deal. I don't care. But some realtors are very, very funny. Very, very funny. They're not like me, outgoing, and I'll jump from the roof and fall to the ground. I don't care, because money's money. But some realtors are very, funny. So be careful.
Yeah. She brings up a great point too. How long? Where are you marketing this at, and for how long?
Just Craigslist, Facebook Market, and that's pretty much it. I didn't go to the rent links, so it's
Okay.
because I knew the numbers were kind of iffy because of the comps.
Okay.
And I have a contract for him for 90 days. And if it didn't sell within 30 days, I was going to go back to him and say, hey, so it hasn't sold in 30 days. The market is telling you something. We may need to adjust the numbers if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do that, well, we can continue for another 60 days, but I really doubt that things are going to go forward. And just be honest with him.
Okay.
And that was my thinking.
Okay.
Because he kind of knew he's been trying to sell it for a year already on his own, and he couldn't.
I understand.
So he knows the deal.
So how long has it been on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace?
For a week.
A week. Okay. And how many interactions have you had with those ads or posts?
Probably about 10.
Okay. And when you posted on Craigslist, did you do it every day, or did you just do it once and let it ride?
I did it twice, and I reset it. I was supposed to reset it this afternoon so it can go back up to the top.
Okay. Yeah, you should do it. If you got a property you're trying to get off, you need to do that every day at least. Okay. Because it puts it at the top. Craigslist, keeps bumping you down every time somebody puts a new ad up there, and eventually you end up on page 2 where nobody goes, right?
Right.
I mean, when was the last time you went to page 2? And most of those ads are worthless anyway because the stuff's already sold or it's gone or whatever, no matter what category you're in. So you have to kind of refresh. What's great about Craigslist is once you've built an ad and it's gone for like a week or something, it'll give you the option to refresh. Just hit a button and it'll bring it right back up to the top. But for the first week or so, you need to do it every day.
Right.
Now on Facebook Marketplace, not so much. So on Facebook Marketplace, what I like to do is after that, build a paid ad in that zip code. Okay. So take the same ad, make a paid ad on Facebook. So it shows up when people scroll. So when the people in that zip code are scrolling rent to own property. Oh, I know that house. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, baby. We always wanted to live out there, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, okay. So you want a paid ad, but you're getting some, even in a rural area. I want people to note here, he said about 10 interactions from those free posts in the last week, even in this rural place. All right. So
there's interest. It's just, they don't qualify.
Yeah. Well, and the deal is not perfect either.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to think. I just threw this out there because I was trying to help the dude out. So he was pretty. Please help me out, kind of stuff. So
this is the kind of deal I would be totally. Yeah. And by the way, congratulations. First of all, I'm not trying to belittle it in any way whatsoever. Right. It is a deal, and I'm proud that you're working on it. But it nevertheless, it is a little. It's got a little hair on it, just a little.
Right.
Right. Just a little. Okay.
No, I know. I didn't have any expectations really. I just wanted to throw it out.
Yeah.
See,
you're doing a great job. Great job.
And as your coach, it's on the borderline. Y'all remember that song, Borderline? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. I think I
love you,
I lost
man.
mine already.
Yeah.
So this, so it's a borderline kind of deal. It's almost great. It's not quite so much. It's got a little hair on it, but I wanted you to do it because of the experience of it too.
Yeah.
And you never know, you might have a country boy call you this afternoon and say, yeah, I own a roofing company out here. and I'm looking for a place for my kid to live. Okay, you never know, man. And
Right.
some of those dudes are loaded.
Mhm.
All right?
Loaded.
Just because they're country folk don't mean they're dumb.
That's it.
All right.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm just, like I said, I didn't have any really expectations, trying to help the dude out. And yeah, I'm not like totally super excited, but I'm like, okay, if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, well, you know, that's what the contract's for. It expires in 90 days, and then we'll go from there.
So proud of you, man. Yeah, keep it up and keep us updated on how that goes. Because what's encouraging about it is that you're getting activity too from the ads. You know, if you weren't getting any activity at all, then that'd be like, well, you know, kind of. I got some experience building an ad, you know, and
right.
But what's great is you have some interactions, and those interactions lead to deals oftentimes. Okay, oftentimes. All right. Not you can't say every time now, can you? If you're being honest, you can't say all of them do. They don't. Right. But in there is the money.
Right.
Okay. And I think in there is where the money is what also not just in the process, but in the stick to itiveness to see it through and even be willing to fail and try again.
That's it.
Right. Yeah.
That is life.
I mean, yes.
You know?
Yes.
I was a little kid learning to ride a bicycle. I was in 5th grade, I think it was, and all the kids in class were riding their bicycles. Guess what doofus didn't learn yet? You know, that's me. So I go home and I tell my dad, you know, hey, I got to learn to ride this bike. He's like, well, go ride it. I got you one. It's been sitting out there. So I go hop on it. It's got training wheels. You know what happened? They made fun of me because I'm the only 5th grader riding around with training wheels. So I told my dad, take the training wheels off. I'm going to be a boss. I'm on it. You know, so he pops some training wheels off. And the first thing I do is wipe out and tear the skin off my knee. I get up. It's like watching a cartoon or something. I got up and I was like, never again. No, forget it. I don't care if I'm unpopular and kids make fun of me. I don't care. It's not worth that. Right. Okay. Because now I'm bleeding and everything.
That's it.
And I let it go for a while. Came back to it later. And when I had the discipline to see it through, and I fell over and I fell over and I fell over, man, there's something about that we lose a little bit when we grow up for some reason. You know, get that back about this business. It's okay to try some of this shit and to fail and to come back and try it again in a different way or you know, tweak it. It's okay if you don't know if a deal is really a deal. It's close. It's got a little hair on it like this. Cool. Get it under contract. Throw that on the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah, that's the kind of the advice I took. It's like, throw on the wall, see what's up.
Why not? Why not? You're not hurting anybody.
Nice.
Nobody's gonna die. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's going to die. So, you know, make your offers, get those deals under contract, even if you're not sure. My mentor, Claude Diamond, says it like this. He says, the most important thing is to get it under contract, right? Because when you get it under contract, you effectively are taking it off the market for sale. Okay. Whether it's an on-market or off-market property, doesn't matter. If you've got it locked up, now it's locked up. It doesn't matter if something's wrong, the price is off, the repairs are too high. It doesn't matter. You can always fix it later.
Right.
Okay. Get it locked up. And I'm proud of you for doing that, dude. Good job.
Cool.
Good job.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for your help. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You're welcome. I don't know what we did, but it sounds to me like
hey, you know, it's just it is what it is, and we'll see what happens.
Let's talk about something real quick before we end up wrapping up here. Before we go, I wanted to share another slick screen with you here. Somebody role play with me, and let's open up a conversation with a homeowner lead on the phone. Let's role play. I'll be the homeowner, and you be the investor. And I just want you to introduce yourself, do the first part, do the agenda. For example, it's what I call it, the agenda. It's what Claude Diamond calls it, the agenda. Okay. Somebody do that. Ring, ring. Hello.
Hey, Justin, it's Mark. I was calling you about this place over there. Wanted to see, is it still available?
Yes, it is.
Great. I want to see if maybe I could ask you a few questions. You could ask me a few questions. Like to maybe see if I can make an offer, and if you don't like it, then you can just tell me to get lost. Does that sound all right?
That sounds okay. How can I help you with this? What do you need to know? Okay, time out. That is the agenda. That is a very well set agenda. Great job, Mark. So when you're calling these leads, you want to start out the phone call. I think of the phone call as 3 different stages: the agenda, the second stage, the qualification stage. We'll talk about that in a second, and then the closing stage. All right. So in the agenda, you do 3 things. You set a roadmap. He said, hey, I'm Mark. Is this property? Blah, blah, blah. Yep, it is still available. Okay, great. Here's what I wanted to do. Number 2, ask if it's okay if I ask you a few questions. Sure it is. Then he said, and also, I don't remember the exact words, Mark, please forgive me, but you said something like, if what I offer you today or what I share with you today isn't appealing to you, it's okay if you fire me. You can just say no. Is that all right? Give them permission to say no. Why? Can anybody tell me why this is so desperately important when you start out a conversation with a homeowner?
Because usually when you call a person, they're like, what's the lack of a better word, high strung. You put them at ease, basically, by saying that.
It does bring down the walls a bit. Any other ideas on why this is so desperately important to give them permission to get permission to ask questions, but then also give them permission to say no? If
you make them feel that they have control of they have control still, because it's their asset. They have control of the situation.
Yeah, it makes them feel good. Sure.
And you're not begging them to sell it to you either. You're letting them know, take it or leave it.
Yeah, it's an adult to an adult kind of thing. Hey, it's okay if you say no. I want you to try that. Next time somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you mind if I ask you a favor? You know what I mean? You mind if I ask you a favor? Here's my favorite response. Well, I don't mind you asking if you don't mind me telling you no. Give these people permission to tell you no and set them at ease. Also, this will set you up later to avoid the runaround. When at the end of the call, they're like, well, send me the offer. Well, sir, I'd like to send you the offer, but, honestly, it sounds like you're just being polite and you'd like to, remember I told you it's okay if you just say no. Is that what you'd really like to do here? Okay, you flesh out more objections. You'll flesh out what the real problem is. You'll keep him from dragging you out and running you around for 2 weeks. All that starts when you give him permission to say no. Okay, so that's how you start the conversations. Do it one more time, Mark. Ring, ring. Hello.
Hey, is this Justin?
Yeah, this is he.
Hey, yeah, you still got that place for sale?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. I wanted to see if maybe I could ask you a few questions. You could ask me a few questions. Maybe at the end I'll make an offer, see if it's something. If you don't like it, you could just tell me no, or tell me to get lost. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, good job. Good job on the agenda. Let's talk about the second section, the second stage, which I call the qualification section. And the qualification section consists of namely 4 questions. Now, there'll be more questions in here, but these are the biggies. All right. Does anybody know what it is that I need to know about this homeowner in order to make a good offer that will make sense to him, that he'll accept, and that also will give me enough information to make that offer?
Their why.
Why? Somebody role play with me. Pick up where Mark left off and ask me a why question.
Hey Justin, what's the situation? Why are you trying to sell this place? It looks pretty amazing.
Perfect. Somebody else. Anybody with a why? How do you ask why?
Can I?
Anybody?
Usually the two questions: how long have you lived there, and why are you selling?
Good. I like that one. I use that one myself a lot. Anybody else with how to ask the why question? Okay. All right. What's the second thing we need to know about this homeowner?
Money, price.
Yeah. We need to talk about the money. Let's not avoid the money question. Let's just get it right out of the way. How do we ask the money question?
Just straight up. How much are you asking for your place?
Or something like, come out to that price. There's a realtor that helped you out getting this price. That you did some comparables.
I like it. So in other words, how much are you asking and where'd you come up with that crazy number? Right? Good. Very good. Yeah. What's next? Anybody else? What's another way we could ask this money question?
Mind if we talk about money?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you mind if we talk about the money? Yeah. It's a good way to broach the money topic. Some people struggle with this. That's why we're going through this today, because some people struggle with, how do I ask this question? I mean, how do I broach the money topic? How do I, ask them about why they want to, yeah. I feel uncomfortable asking them why they want to sell. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Personally, me, every time I ask somebody why they want to sell, something in my heart says, man, that was tough. I don't know why, but that's true. So I have to ask it in a way that's comfortable for me, which is normally, how long have you lived in the property? And then they'll say, well, 6 years. And then I'll say something like this: 6 years, it must feel like home. Why in the world would you want to move now? Why not stay there another 6 years? Okay. Money. Any other questions or examples of money questions? How can we broach the money topic? Anybody else? Come on, there's got to be another idea. Okay. How much is this property worth? And what are you asking for this property, and how much is it worth? That's how I like to ask it.
Do you ever ask if it needs any repairs?
I do, but not yet. Okay. That's just a personal preference. I don't ask if I do, it'll be something like this. Is the house in move-in condition, or does it need repairs? Okay. I don't know who that is, but please help us and mute that. Thank you. That's really, really loud in my ear. Okay, so
finally found you.
Yeah, that's it. Woo, woo. Yeah. So the money question, I'll ask them, what are you asking for the property, and what do you think it's worth? See, what I'm hoping to do here is create a reason. It's worth 205, but I'm asking 195 because it's been on the market for 90 days and it was at 205 and we keep lowering it. And so hopefully, okay, that's kind of nice to know, So I like to ask it in that way, but you can ask it in a lot of different ways. There's not one perfect way. All right. What's the third thing we need to know real quick? I gave you the first letter. Timing. Yeah. What do I mean by timing?
You don't need to sell that thing right away, do you? Or maybe not.
Yeah. That's a great way of doing it. Anybody else got another example? Okay. I like to say it like this. I like to say, you're not trying to sell that house today, are you? I mean, this is something you want to do next month or a couple months up the road, right? I go negative with it. Okay. I like to do that on this question. That just feels good to me. You're not trying to sell this house today, are you? I mean, this is something you want to do next month or a couple months up the road, right? Oh no, I want to do something as soon as I can. Okay, great. All right. So that's how I like to ask the timing question. Any other concepts or ideas or thoughts on how we could break into the timing question? Okay. What's the fourth thing?
Commitment?
Yeah, commitment. What do I mean by that?
I have no idea. I'm just kidding. um, are they committed? How committed are they to actually selling their house?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. How can we ask that question though, Lou?
good question. Must be a reason why you asked that question.
Anybody got an idea? That's okay, Lou.
If we can come to the price that works out good for you today, can we get this taken care of and get it on paper and secure it?
Okay. I like it. Anybody got any other ideas? Okay. I like to ask it like this. So if I were to right after the timing question where I said, you don't want to sell this today, do you? I mean, this is something you want to do next month or a couple months up the road, right? Now I want to do it right as soon as possible. Okay. So if I were to make you an offer today, what happens next? What's the process for you? That's how I like to ask it, because I want to flush out, is there a wife that he needs to talk to, an attorney, a brother, a cousin? Okay. I want to figure that out. Is this guy able to make a commitment? Okay. Is he able to? Or you could say it just as simple as, hey, if I sent over an offer that was satisfactory to you today, what happens then? What happens next? And then just play dumb. You tell me. All right. After that, I'm probably going to ask about repairs. I might even dive, but at this point, I've got a good idea of where he's at on a scale of 1 to 10, don't I? Because I've heard the why, I've heard the money, I've heard the timing, the money, the dollar figures, that ain't what I want it to be, but that's okay. It never is. I'm not trying to, close him out and dump him off right here because the money wasn't exactly what I wanted to hear. That's okay with me. I'm fine with that. But I should know on a scale of 1 to 10, his motivation level. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to place this guy based on these answers to these 4 questions. If it's a 1 through 4, I may be ready to get off the phone. If it's a 6 through 9 or 10, I may be ready to just go ahead and tie in with this fella for another 10, 15, 20 minutes and get this deal closed up. Okay. If he's a 5 or a 6 or a 7, I may just put him on a follow-up list because he ain't quite ripe enough yet. Okay. All right. But now after these 4 questions, I have to make a decision here. Do I let him waste my time, or is it time to go ahead and get off the phone with an unmotivated seller? Maybe I need to fire him. All right. You got to think about that. Think about that. Guys, don't let these people waste your time. Okay. I let you waste my time. You let me waste your time. That's okay. We're friends. These people are not friends. Okay. This is a business call. So if it's not going to work out, put them on a follow-up list, get off the phone politely, or just get off the phone. All right. So if you don't do this, guys, it'll run you out of the business, because you will get on the phone with homeowners that talk 20, 30, 40 minutes about chandelier and above the staircase and the foyer. And my husband, he did the brick fireplace himself, and the mantle is actually made from black walnut that we harvested from our own mini orchard that we have on another piece of property somewhere, which is about 300 miles from here, but we love it there. And we're going to go on and on and on for 30 minutes. Okay.
Quick question on that right there, Justin.
Yeah.
What's a good, because everybody I think has to deal with that one way or another at one
Yeah.
point or another.
Yeah.
What do you like to do to kind of cut them off? Like, how do you have a technique that you like to use to cut people off to kind of get back on track? Or
Yeah, you just literally with some of these people have to pattern interrupt with them, okay, and just literally stop them in their tracks. Now, I have an example video out there floating around in YouTube somewhere of a lady that did this to me. I was doing a live seller call and she just went on and on, and I just let her go. Okay, I was like, do not do what I'm doing right now. Okay. She has spent 25 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Okay. And a deal I'll never do. In a house that, probably is pretty awesome, but holy shit, who loves their house that much? Like, I'm like, you should marry this house, not sell it, so you just have to just flat out interrupt them. Okay. So I'll give you an example. I'm talking and I'm going on about the chandeliers and all this. I may say, is the basement in good shape? The roof. Okay. So I'm just going to butt in with the big five and take charge, right? That's the only thing I've ever found that works. And man, I don't like doing it. It's uncomfortable. Okay. But it's your choice. You can either sit there and listen to them, or you can direct the conversation towards the big five if it's repairs. And usually when they're talking about stuff nonstop, it's about repairs that they've done to the house. Has that been everybody's experience or just mine?
Yeah. Did you pull a permit? Did you pull a permit when you did all that work?
That's a good question. Yeah. Let me say this though. There's a balance here, because you don't want to be rude to these people because you want to build that likability and that trustability. But at the same time, you don't want to be like the victim of their ear rape, for 30 minutes. So you have to kind of judge at some point, well, I'm glad they like me. And maybe that's a great way to do it too. And I've done that. Hey, I'm glad you like me and I like you too, but I need to ask a couple quick questions before I gotta go. Okay. I think that's a good way to do it. I gotta go. All right. I like you. And I'm glad you like me, but I got to ask you a couple quick questions before I go. Tell me about the roof. Okay, now tell me about the foundation. Okay, now tell me about the AC. Now tell me about the plumbing and the electric. And okay, great. Is it cosmetics? Everything's okay. Wonderful. When you really, try to get control again. And I'll just be honest with you. Some people are on meds, so they can't stop talking. So in some cases, it's just not worth the try. Okay. I've met that. I've run into that too, where these people are they're nice. They're talkative, but Jesus, I'm never going to get to the point here. So, that's not who you're looking for. Can you imagine being in a deal with that person for the next 36 months? They'd be like living with you. Okay. Their love turns to hate. Yeah, probably. So after that, I may ask any miscellaneous questions. I hope that helped a little bit, Mark. There's no great answer that I have for that, man. just got to interrupt them. Now, the third stage is the closing stage. We'll do this pretty quick. The closing stage consists of 3 parts too, basically. Recap. What's the next one? Anybody know?
Solve or satisfy.
Yeah. Bob G's got a lot of great comments over here in YouTube. You're right, Bob, about a lot of that stuff, man. I mean, you're nailing it. The parts I've seen. Recap, solve. What's the next one? What's the next one?
It says ask the question.
Recap, solve, ask. Right? What do I mean by recap, solve, ask? Somebody tell me real quick. 60 seconds. Tell me. Nobody knows what recap, solve, ask means?
Well, you recap is what you talked about and what you agreed to and what you wrote down. Make sure that those are the things that they want on the agreement. Solve, ask them if it solves their problem, and ask. I would say ask if I would do this, if I would put all this down, could we move forward with this today?
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
correct?
That's a pretty good example. Yeah. Recap means I'm going to recap the story that I discovered in the why, the money, the timing, and the commitment. Why is it important for me to recap the why, the money, the timing, and the commitment before I make my offer? Why is it important for me to recap that? Anybody?
Well, I'm thinking that if they're relaying all that stuff to you, there might be some pain points in there that you're reminding them of, so you can make that deal happen.
Oh, yeah. Also, it validates that you listen to them.
Right.
And that you're going to make an offer based on what they need and what they want, not just on what you want, which is what 99.9% of everyone else does. Right? If you get me to talk about my situation for 3 minutes as a stranger, and then you recap it to me, I instantly have a like and a respect for you too, don't I? Something biological in my brain says, man, this individual, he gave a fuck enough to listen to me, enough to recap it back to me. Yeah. Okay, now we're both engaged here as adults. So recap, don't forget this recap. Somebody give me an example of a good recap. Just make one up. Make one up. Anybody. Just the recap. Anybody. Just make one up.
So you said your bottom line is 350, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to go more into that?
Okay. You could. Yeah. You can be like, yeah. And it sounds like you got a job, you're transferring, you're moving to Utah, your kids and your wife are already out there. And you got these 2 payments going on, or whatever the situation is, you recap it.
Yeah.
So now let's solve. How do we solve that?
Okay. I can say to them that okay, so if I bring somebody, if I have if I choose to buy your property for $350, and then I get it because you said you want to move in 90 days, and I get we can close in 90 days, all your terms and conditions that we discussed on this call. Are you interested in signing a dotted line with me?
Okay, so she went from solve to ask. Okay, did you see how she did that? She put the ask on the end there. Good job there, Rosalind. So recap and then solve. I like to do it like this. I'll recap, so it sounds like, the situation is blah, blah, and the money and blah, blah, and the kids and the wife and the house and the payment and blah, blah, whatever the story was. So, sir, imagine I were to make an offer today that took away the anxiety of being away from your family, allowed you to get up there and this month if you want to, or as quick as you want. And also I were able to guarantee that you would have no realtor's commissions or closing expenses. Also, I would guarantee to you the maintenance and payment. Could we talk about doing something creative? Oh, the best part, I'm not going to beat you up on price. Is this something we can talk about or maybe not? Okay, you see how I solved before I asked? See, now if I made an offer that did this, it solves the problem that I just recapped. Now my offer makes a lot more sense to the guy, doesn't it? Right? Because it's based on a recap of a story he just told, and I'm offering to solve these issues. He's asking me if it's okay. Now what do we hear? Now what do we hear? After we recap, solve, and ask, what do we normally hear a prospect say or do? What follows this? Anybody? The dreaded stuff.
Objections. Yeah.
Stalls. And what's the third one? Just straight out, just outright lies. I'm going to say the third one's outright lies.
I don't see how anybody could do any of those things to you.
Yeah. Every single day. See, that's why I, when I use the phone, I have one of these. You guys remember these from 1980s? These wrist exercisers. Okay, so let me show this. All right, these wrist exercisers. You got to have one of these when you're on the phone. You got to get rid of that useless energy that you have pent up.
Hold on a minute. There's a little noise over here.
Like Philip needs one right now, like one of these, so he can de-stress. Guys, don't hesitate to have a trinket or something to help you. I'm kind of.
I believe someone else has one.
No kidding. You got one too. That's great.
Yeah.
Man, I like yours better though. Yours is pretty orange. Mine is.
I know Victor would have it. Victor got it all in that room when I watch his training.
What do you do?
I got my yoga mat and everything set up now.
Hey, you're the man.
So we have here a objection, a stall, outright lies from some people. Let me close this out and see if I can find it here. But we also have an objections cheat sheet. Okay. And that's available to you if you're VIP. And this will help you with some of the objections, stalls, questions, outright lies. Okay. But let's talk about the worst case scenario. Okay. Questions need answers, right? How do you solve a question? With an answer. An objection, you can have some prepared thoughts and some prepared answers. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I created this objections cheat sheet for you. You should study this. Some people cut this out, objection answer. They cut it out and they put it up above their desk. So when they're on the phone, if they get one of these, all right, they can easily refer to it to refresh their memory. It's up to you how you want to use it. But I do recommend using it until you get a little more confident with some of these answers, and then put them in your own words without the script. Formula, that's what a script is. Scripts and formula is for babies. You have to grow up out of the script. You become the script, okay? And then you'll be very, very, very effective on the phone, all right? So now I want to address the very first one here before we call it quits here today. Objection number one, a lot of these people that we talk to start out with this objection. That's why it's objection number one. And it's, I'm looking for a cash offer, or they'll say, I need a cash offer, or I only want cash. Okay. All right. Now, for inexperienced creative real estate investors, when they hear that, they think, oh, this is a dead deal. It's over and it's done with. It's all over but the crying. Get off the phone. He only wants cash. No terms. Okay. That doc is in the VIP Quick Start course, and it's also in the Outsource Lease Options course, Lease Options 2.0. All right. So I lost my train of thought there. Oh, you think it's a dead deal because the guy only wants cash. How do we handle that objection? Somebody, without me having the script up there, somebody that has become the script. Ooh.
I just handled that objection via text while this meeting was being conducted. And I've got a guy interested in a lease option.
Okay. How did you do it, Anthony?
I will read the correspondence to you. Give me just a moment. Let's see. So he said, yes, but I just want to sell. So I said, I'd probably just want to sell it too, since it's just costing you money while sitting vacant. On a 2 to 3 year lease option, you can get all the rent, no rent credits, and you get your full price. The tenant buyer pays us to get into the program, but I understand this isn't for everybody. He replied back, he said, if you have a tenant now, I'm interested.
Ooh, there you go. All right.
I reminded him of his pain point. It's sitting vacant and costing him money.
And that's a recap, right? That's basically you're confirming the problem with him again, and then you're offering a solution, solving, okay, and then you're asking again, right? That's how you get through every objection, even this one. Same thing you did. All right. Great job there. You did it over text. Could easily happen over phone. Okay. Could easily happen over phone. All right.
It could, but I'm trying to be productive while we have this meeting.
I appreciate that too very much, Anthony. And I'm proud of you, man. Keep up the good work. And, I don't mind if it's on my time. It's okay. Somebody bold and brave, one of my assassins, somebody, or a new guy or a gal. I'm okay with that too. Somebody fight the objection. Yeah, I'm only looking, well, I really need to sell. I want to cash off, I just want to cash out and get out of here. Somebody that's a ninja, outflank me. Go. Anybody? Wait a minute. I got my crickets button. Come on, warriors. Ain't nobody in here. Got this.
What's the objection again?
Man, I'm
Sorry,
ready.
man.
I'm ready to sell. I want to sell today. I'm just looking to cash out and move on.
Okay, so you're looking to cash out and move on. Okay,
Yeah.
So have you had any offers on the property?
No.
You haven't had any offers. Okay, so if we can come up with a price today that we can both agree on, are you looking to close today?
Yeah. If you got something, an offer that's acceptable today, cash, I'll do it today.
Okay, if you can provide your email, I can at least give you a quick offer. The offer doesn't have to be set in stone, but until you're okay with it. So can you provide that email?
Yeah. Our team buys houses at gmail.com. Okay. That's one way of going about it. Yeah. Malicio, good job. Victor.
Is that this?
Go ahead.
Never mind.
No, go ahead. Malicio, go ahead.
Was that a co-wholesale deal are you talking about here?
Now, we didn't specify, did we? So it was just a general lead that the guy wants cash money, like I was picturing in my mind just a regular old Joe homeowner. But
Gotcha.
but you did good not knowing anything, starting right there at the very tail end.
All
So
right, man.
Victor, will you do it one time? And while you're at it, promo your role play and live seller call show tomorrow, would you? Because if you're missing that on Wednesdays, you're either you're busy or you're dumb. I don't know.
So
All right.
what we're probably, one of the things we're going to do on the role plays, we're probably going to move it down to an hour. My commitments are starting to overtake my time as far as my Wednesday. So we're going to probably move it on to, what is that, 10 o'clock your time or?
What do you mean?
No, you're ahead of me. So for right now, we're at 11 Central to 1 Central. Is that where we are now?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to move that to 12 Central to 1 Central.
Boom, perfect.
Starting tomorrow.
Okay, so
but anyway,
same bat channel, same
play.
bat time. Yeah, so tomorrow noon, just like every other day of the week.
Yep.
Central time.
That's right.
Okay, I've shared with you my story and everything, and I can't think of much more I can share with you about the property or my situation. And honestly, I'm just trying to get cash and just get out of here. If I could just get cash, and I just want this house out of my life.
Well, Justin, I really appreciate you sharing all that with me. It's great of you to be so open about it. Let me ask you something. If I was to walk up to you right now with a bag full of cash, give me the absolute best price that you could give me today, assuming you are not going to pay anything else. I'm going to just bring you a bag full of cash. Give me your absolute best price, Justin.
Well, like I said before, the house is worth $120,000. I'm asking, 110, and I could come down, a little bit, but not a lot, probably, maybe 5,000, 105, maybe would be the tops for me.
105. Well, that's, and I appreciate it. Don't think that I'm not appreciative. This is I'm an investor, Justin. This is kind of how I make my money. But I definitely, it's how I feed my kids. And I definitely want you to, to win on this. Let me ask you, usually when somebody has this conversation with me, there's a number in their mind that they need to get right now to solve their next problem, maybe move into something or whatever. Would you need all of that money up front right now? Or, is there something we can talk about maybe, piecing it together? That's something we can do or maybe not?
Great job. I'm going to go just one step further with you, because we could drag this out for a long time, but I'm just going to go one step further with you. So I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to say, well, I think I need to sell the house so that I can buy another one.
I understand that. I appreciate you sharing that with me, Justin. Okay, how much is the other property?
The other property is it's 112 actually. 112.
Okay. And what do you need to close the deal on that one, assuming you're not going to pay cash? Are you trying to pay cash for the other property?
Yeah, I mean, we were wanting to sell this one and then use the proceeds to, pay off the mortgage, but then, that'll help us get the next loan too.
Okay, all right. So for the next loan, you probably need what, like 20% or so, plus some closing costs and maybe some movement money.
Yeah, and we don't have all that, so we were kind of expecting some cash from this sale to supplement or what we've saved up. We figure it's probably going to cost us somewhere between some of this is moving expenses too, but like 10 grand. So
Your moving expenses are 10 grand, or it's going to
Well,
take you 10 grand to do this?
no, with the down payment and things that we have to bring to the table, we're going to have about 10 grand. And so I'm going to, I need to get some proceeds from this house to do that, because I don't have all that saved up.
Okay, okay. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Wow, it sounds like you have some big plans in your future. I'm excited as you are now. So if I could put the money that you need to move into that other property and get it to you here within the next, short period of time, can we maybe talk about, the rest and just, remove this problem off your plate and everything, give you the money, solve your problem, and put you into your other situation? That's something we could talk about right now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, great. Time out. So you see what he did there was, no matter what I threw at him, no matter what, he always went back to that confirm, this is what the issue is. Here's a solution. Is this something we can talk about moving forward with? Okay. No matter what that objection I threw at him was, and I was throwing some heavy ones at him, guys. Okay. I was, and I'm sorry about that, Victor, but I knew you could take it. And I wanted people to see that there's some heavy questions that come out, like from homeowners, like, well, I can't sell this. I can't do this on lease option because I got to have this house sold in order to get my next house. You know what? That's just simply not factual in most cases. Okay. So, you can win those sometimes, even those. Okay. But not always too. So don't get emotionally involved so much with leads either, that, I ruined my life with this one.
Yeah, and sometimes too, Justin, like you were saying, you can't win them all the time, but now you've kind of set up a situation where he now has more things to think about. Like he didn't really, a lot of times they don't think about the possibility of breaking this up or doing some other things. They just in their mind want all the money right now here today. They don't think about all of the other ramifications. Sometimes that they don't buy within a certain period, but that's a whole nother story as far as capital gains and stuff. But they don't always think that through, right? So you just try to chop it up into some manageable pieces, going back to, being able to put together an agreement that you can sell.
Mm-hmm.
That's always where I come from. My agreement has to be sellable. Not to me, but to anybody else out there who has some good sense and maybe a little bit of money.
I love to call a homeowner and have them go, when I ask them, hey, if I were able to guarantee maintenance taken care of and all that, and the payment for 24 months, is that something we could, talk about doing creative or maybe not? And they go, I never thought about that, but yeah, I think that would work. Yeah. I mean, I want to, I wish they were all that easy, but not. Sometimes they're not, and that's okay if you're prepared with this little formula, you practice it a little bit. Okay. Practice it with your kids. Okay. Your significant other,
So Justin, one of the things that I've kind of learned, and it's kind of come out of this same very environment right here, is putting together an email follow-up, putting them on some sort of schedule, because they're operating as if this property is going to sell and there's, everything is good. And it might be, but 30 days down the line, 60 days down the line, it might not be. So if you can put together a quick email just recapping what you talked about and send it out in, staggered dates, 10 days, 30 days, 45 days or something like that. I just recently had one that came back to me after, just doing that. And ironically, it was the only one I did it with, which was dumb, but it is now part of the process.
That's great though. That's a great story. Good. Yeah. Follow up, guys. Have a follow up list. If you don't have a spreadsheet or a Trello board or something for follow up, you're missing out. Okay. Get a Trello.com is what I use, but that's because it's free and I'm a cheapo. Okay. So, get something and some people like Evernote or, something, get something,
Yeah.
Google Tasks, whatever it is, but you need a follow-up list and develop a follow-up system like that. That's incredibly good. I wish Automated REI offered that
Yeah.
on text, but
Yeah. That would be awesome.
not yet.
Mhm.
So are there any questions or anything we can handle before we call it a day here, guys and gals? It's been a great day. I think I appreciate all the interactions and support and comments and help and all that good stuff. Anything? Lou, Jaime, Ed, good to see you again, man. Victor, thanks for your help. Everybody jump in on Victor's Q&A tomorrow, role play and live seller calls.
Okay, what time is Victor's roll calls on Eastern Standard Time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Okay. Now, in terms of this, what time do you normally come on during the day?
1 o'clock.
Always 1 o'clock. Okay, got it.
Always 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yep. Good to see you, Errol and Rosalind and Philip and Mark and Melesio and Ed and Rick and Moto Z4 again. Who is Moto Z4? I'm curious.
I'm not to telling all of y'all. Yeah, where's Moto T4?
Who is it?
Yeah, I don't want to tell you.
It's a Moto Z telephone. I don't even know they sell Motos anymore.
Man, yeah. That's like a relic.
It is.
It's a brand new phone.
Here you go.
Man,
Great.
I like your style, dude. I like it. So
well,
it's good to see everybody. If no other questions or anything, we'll call it a day. We'll call it a wrap.
Yeah. Do you have any leads in Massachusetts?
There you go, Rosalind.
There you go. Anybody got
anybody? Hey, I don't mind stepping down as an investor. I could be your bird dog too. I do it all. So if you want me to work for you in Massachusetts and pay me a check, that's all I'm looking for is $1.
Rosalind, are you a broker in Massachusetts or an agent?
I'll never be a broker. Never. I don't want the liability. I'm just an agent. I just an agent now just to get in the doors and doing my due diligence, and that's about it. I don't even want to like being the agent. I made more money on a deal flipping. I opened my own flipping company 2 years ago, and I made 122 than I made in all the years of being an agent. You think I'm crazy to be not an agent? I can't stand being an agent, but you know what? I'm going to keep my license, and people like you all are going to give me some deals, and I got to go break down the doors and get our numbers and make money.
I'm licensed in Massachusetts as well, and also Connecticut. If you have any Connecticut deals, Roswell.
Absolutely, I'm gonna have it all because as you can see, I don't shut my mouth. My closed mouth never got me fed.
But we have so many people from the New England states now in the VIP, and so many in California.
I like California. My aunt's in California. My family's in California. I'm getting ready to go see Vic.
It's like we need to have a couple sub clubs.
Yes.
Like the California kids and the New England Patriots or something.
The Patriots stink right now. Come on, please. Oh God, don't even put that on there. Let's talk about the Red Sox at least. And I love sports too. I love sports. I'm not that typical woman. I love the sports. I'm out in the field. I like to get dirty, but you just upset me with that New England Patriots thing. It ain't happening. California's happening right now with the football.
Yeah. So you guys, just so you know, like Rosalind, I decided to hang my license too. So I'm now a EXP agent here in California. So if you guys need agent related stuff, let me know.
Yeah.
Better to have the license, in my opinion, than get caught like what happened in Illinois.
That's right.
Yeah. Get set back a few months.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. See, now you guys are making me think. You put me back in the valley of decision, damn it.
You got to lead by example. You're our coach.
Yeah.
Should I license up? Should I not?
Put it up.
Again. What'd you say, Ed?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I know. Well, I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I do. And I promise, I promise all of you that you know enough that if I could just help you and you could find yourself in a position where you do some of what we do here and we talk about, you will also see these type of results too. Okay. So I love you guys. Go have a great day. All right. Role play
You
and
too.
live seller calls with Victor Walker tomorrow. All right. Be
All
there
right, folks.
or be
Thank
Thank
square.
you. Have
All
a
right.
good day.
Love
Thanks,
you guys.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, Moto Z4,
Yeah,
Anthony.
bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Obrigado, luego.
Okay, Moto.